When he broke his hand.
So he'll cut the cast.
Yeah, I'm sure they'll put some kind of padding on him or whatever. But he's going to play. So he's going to let it heal on its own. He's not going to have surgery. So he's a tough guy.
How about Chaz Sutton? Is he going to be ready for Tennessee?
I hope so. He had a pins plate, whatever, put in his hand, and we've had all kind of hand injuries. It's just one of those things that happens. And, you try to pinpoint on why, but it just did. And so, but we hope Chaz will be ready to play.
How much when they have a club on their hand? How much does it really limit them?
Limits them a lot. And defensive linemen, until you learn what these are for, you can't play in the defensive line. And so, we got to be able to use your hands. It's different from when y'all played football. Most of the old guys use triangles and all that kind of stuff. And it's all about hands.
When was the last time you had a defensive tackle lead the team in tackles?
It's been a while. That was impressive. Of course, Travian made a tackle on that fake punt they had, and we a couple times we had him in some screen calls where he was kind of just hovering around looking for screens and things like that. That's anytime a D tackle leads the team and tackles in a game, that's impressive because that doesn't happen very often.
I must say a pretty good ratio for him to form.
Yeah, he did. Yeah, a real good ratio. He really did. And Devin Taylor had he had 3 tip balls and 2 sacks and stuff. So he and Devin really had a lot of plays.
What are some of the challenges Tennessee presents to you?
Just tackling. That back they got's really good. And Poole, he had over 100 yards against Alabama. I don't think a back's had over 100 yards against Alabama in like 30 to 40 games.
42 games.
Yeah, 42 games. So, I respect Alabama's defense a lot. For him to do that, that's very impressive.
Fred, you've been around this program for a long time. You've seen Tennessee a number of times. What's it like to see a Tennessee team come in here 0-4 in the SEC?
Well, that's not the norm. But again, every week is a new challenge, and you've got to show up and play your best every week. If you don't, you're in for a long night. And so we understand that. And players have got to understand it. It's again, being a mature football team, you come to play every week. That's our goal, to get our players to understand that. And that's our job, get them to understand that.
This team, again, they are struggling, but do you see elements of Tennessee teams past things?
Oh yeah,
what do you see?
They got good athletes. They got good players, and the thing we've got to do our job. We got to take care of South Carolina. We got to make sure that South Carolina plays well, and all the rest of the things kind of take care of itself.
Did you happen to notice how many young guys they were playing up front?
Yeah, they've got some young guys, and I noticed when I looked at the roster, they're too deep. And I know they've got some young guys, so hopefully we've got a little bit of experience, defensive front. So hopefully we can put that to our advantage.
About Sims, as far as what he's been able to do, what's been his problem so far?
They're just the continuity of everything they're doing. They're trying to. It looks like on film, like they're trying to find their identity. And a lot of times, the new starting quarterback, that's the case. Just trying to find what he does best. But he's a good player now.
Yeah.
He can. He's got places in their season on tape where he plays really well.
Yeah, he's had moments where you think, wow.
And so our job is to make sure we play our best and not let him have one of those wild games against us.
You don't like too much about one game, but how big was last weekend for this defense? And you talk about identity for kind of reestablishing in their mind that they are good and they are solid.
Anytime you go out and you play well on defense, it builds confidence. And and that's the main thing with these kids. You play fast. You got to play with confidence. And I thought we did that most of the game last week, and we got to continue to do that.
Does that necessarily translate to this week? Different offense to deal with, different team.
Yeah, the confidence. It was option last week. That's different this week, but just building confidence in what you do and how you play. You build confidence on the practice field, but actually doing it in a game and having some success helps tremendously.
By the old are those kids that you took out for Halloween that time now?
They're one's 26 and she's married, and the other one's 24 and he's coaching Division III football in Pennsylvania.
They taking kids of their own out on Halloween yet? Or
Not yet, not yet. Their mom is waiting for that.
I think you guys are number 2 in the SEC in rushing defense. What's been the difference between this year and last year? Something you guys struggled with?
Well, I mean, I always say it takes 11 people to stop the run, it takes 11 people to stop the pass. You know, defensive line gets way too much credit when you stop the run. They get way too much blame when you don't. And somebody was asking about that option play.
Yeah.
First, I mean, that's pitch. I mean, anyway, you know, I mean, it's 11 people to stop the run, 11 to stop the pass, and that's why I've always approached defense. And, you know, the fact that maybe we're not good in passing, we got to do our job too. I mean, it's 11 people, and we preach that to our players. You know, and so it's everybody's responsible for run and pass.
It looks like